ripe. So now, the harvest of the earth is ripe. Told him to thrust in his sickle. So let's look at go to 2nd Ezra 4 and look at verse 29. So if therefore that which is sown be not turned upside down, so I say you got to think opposite of what this world is giving you. So whatever is sown, we got to turn it upside down. We got to break through all them barriers of religions and so forth. Got to be turned upside down. And if the place where the evil is sown pass not away, if the place where this evil is sown, it don't pass away, then cannot it come that is sown with good. And that's what's coming, this kingdom. It's going to be a righteous kingdom. You got to get rid of this evil. It's got to pass away first. For the grain of evil seed have been sown in the heart of Adam from the beginning. That's why we die. And how much unrighteousness hath it brought up unto this time. You look at all the evil that's in the world today. Unrighteousness brought up until this time. And how much shall it yet bring forth until the time of threshing come? See, that threshing is the harvest. That's what we read about here in Revelation 14 down. That evil is plentiful, bountiful in this earth. You know, in all ways, shapes, and forms. That's why this place is called spiritual Sodom and spiritual Egypt. Because the same works of Egypt they're doing. And the Sodom was dealing with men, women with women, and all kind of madness, all kind of wickedness besides that. Going back to Revelation 14:15. And another angel came out of the temple crying with a loud voice to him that sat on the cloud, Trust in thy sickle, and reap, for the time is come for thee to reap, for the harvest of the earth is ripe. And he that sat on the cloud thrust in his sickle on the earth, and the earth was reaped. And another angel came out of the temple which is in heaven, he also having a sharp sickle. So he gonna reap, he gonna get the harvest. You know, Mashiach coming. Hey, he gonna gather his sheep. He told us that he gonna gather his sheep. Look at hold that, Matthew 25:31. And the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him. Then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. He sit upon that, remember he had that golden crown? He got that, that's powers from authority. He's going to sit on the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations. All nations will be gathered before him. And he shall separate them one from another. If we're supposed to be integrated, why is he going to come back? First thing he say he's going to do is separate all the nations one from another. As a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. As a shepherd divided his sheep from the goats. Ain't no sheep going to be around no goats. The shepherd going to divide the sheep from the goats. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on the left. So now, the sheep, he told you in Matthew 15:24, but he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So we put the Israelites on the right hand, but the goats on the left. So when you say the goats, you look at the goats, we go into Daniel's 8:21, tell you who the goats are. But it's not only you're looking at who these goats are physically, but also spiritually. Daniel 8:21. And the rough goat is the king of Grecia. And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king, who is Alexander the Greek. We read about him in 1 Maccabees 1:1. So the rough goat, the goats represent the Greeks, so-called Caucasians, the Edomites, right? So he's saying gonna put the sheep on the right hand and the goats on the left. So it's a mindset too, because it tells you in Isaiah 13:15. Everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and every one that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. I mean, it's the same mindset. Dealing with whatever it is that they coming out that's wicked, and you accept it. And you down with it. You're not down with thus say the Most High as what's righteous in the eyes of the Most High. Matthew 25 and 34. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, Come, ye blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. So he say, come. It inherit the kingdom prepared for children of Israel from the foundation of the world. That's why they asked him in Acts 1 and 6. After he done died, rose on the third day, walked the earth for 40 days, they asked him this question. Acts 1 and 6. When they therefore will come together, they asked of him, saying, Mashiach Yahushua, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel? I mean, when you look at here, that kingdom is to Israel. They let you know. Matthew 25, 34. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, who are the children of Israel, 12 tribes of Israel, 1/3, mind you, come ye, blessed of my Father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. See? What are you going to say to those goats? Those that had a mindset of the wicked, the evil. Verse 46. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal. So the only way you're going to be righteous, Deuteronomy 6:25. So it ain't just because you are Israelite that you're going into everlasting life. We already read the book's going to be open, your works going to be shown. Deuteronomy 6:25. This is righteousness. And it shall be our righteousness if, as a condition, we observe to do all these commandments before the Most High, our power, as He has commanded us. So that's what this is talking about. The rest of you going to be thrown in the lake of fire, as we just read. What do you say? Matthew 25:46. And these shall go away into everlasting punishment, but the righteous into life eternal. So, this is what He's going to do. I'll give you an idea of how it's going down. Going back to Revelation 14 and 18. So that's the righteous going to go into everlasting life. Verse 18. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire. Remember, the Most High He's not going to destroy the earth with water anymore. He's going to use fire. So this angel had power over fire, and cried with a loud voice to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in thy sharp sickle, and gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. Remember, the Most High said He got a grape in a plant. With great labor have He made it perfect. These are grapes. Her grapes are fully ripe. And the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great wine press of the wrath of the Most High. Hear that? He's going to cast it into the great wine press of the wrath of the Most High. And the wine press was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the wine press even unto the horse bridles, by the space of 1,600 furlongs. That's a lot. This was going down, because when you understand Revelation 19:11, and I saw heaven open, and behold a white horse. That white is always there. Why they gonna call themselves white, pure and righteous? No. That's why that's why I say when we just read, everything gotta be turned upside down. Opposite. Say, look, and I saw heaven open, and behold a white horse, a Mashiach Yahushua. Pure, righteous power. They got horsepower, that's where they get that from. And he that sat upon it was called faithful and true, a Mashiach Yahushua. And in righteousness He does judge and make war. That's why He gonna take that sickle and meet the wine press. That's their blood from be scattered in fulfilling all the righteousness of the Most High. Verse 13, and he was clothed with a vesture dipped in blood. And his name is called the Word of the Most High. So the Most High have a voice, and the Mashiach Shai is the Word of the Most High. And the armies which were in heaven followed him. 200 million, they tell you in Revelation 9:16. And the armies which were in heaven followed him upon white horses, clothed in fine linen, white and clean. And out of his mouth goeth a sharp sword, that with it he should smite the nations. And he shall rule them with a rod of iron. That's the laws of the Most High. And he treadeth the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of almighty power. So you keep hearing the winepress. You done heard that a few times. You see, and the Most High is just. Understand this. If people want to try and, act like the Most High is doing something that would not suffice how people might want to feel about what he does, but he's just. That's why I like to use analysis of what he did to us as his only loving children, to what he's going to do to others that don't want to follow him. And he's just in what he's going to do. Lamentation 1:15. Lamentation 1:15. The Most High have trodden underfoot all my mighty men in the midst of me. He have called an assembly against me to crush my young men. The Most High have trodden the virgin of the virgin. The Most High have trodden the virgin, the daughter of Judah, as in a wine press. Okay? The Most High have trodden the virgin, the daughter of Judah, as in a wine press. This is what he did to his own people. For these things I weep, Jeremiah saying. Mine eye runneth down with water, crying. That's what lamentation is concerned. Weeping, sadness, crying. Because the comforter that should relieve my soul is far from me. My children are desolate because the enemy prevailed. Zion spreadeth forth her hands, and there is none to comfort her. Most I have commanded concerning Jacob, that his adversaries, his enemies, should be round about him. Jerusalem is as a minstrous woman among them. Woo. Man, say we like a minstrous woman among them. Man. Continuing on, verse 18, the Most High is righteous, for I have rebelled against his commandment. Hear, I pray you, my all people, and behold my sorrow. My virgins and my young men are gone into captivity. So when you see here in Revelation 14 and 19, and the angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of the Most High. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and blood came out of the winepress even unto the horse bridles, by the space of 1,600 furlongs. That's the judgment that's coming on this earth. He already reaped. The harvest is gathering the righteous. 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel. Then that sickle, that angel called for the next angel to bring his sickle in to get what? The vine of the earth. For her grapes are fully ripe. Remember, you're going to put the sheep on the right hand and the goats on the left. So either you're going to be a sheep or you're going to be a goat. You make that choice. So let's look at what the Mashiach Shai going to do is he come back to judge and make war. Isaiah 63 and 1. That's why we got to repent, to make sure that you're part of the harvest that he's going to gather of the 1/3, and those that are going to be gather with us. It's gonna be a remnant of all the nations, but a lot of them are gonna be put to death. But it's gonna be a remnant of all the nations, as I said. This is what Mashiach Shai gonna do. Isaiah 63. And a lot of you probably forget about how the Most High just told us in Lamentations 1:15 how he destroyed us like a wine press. Who is this that cometh from Edom? Isaiah 63:1. With dyed garments from Basra. That was the capital city. This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatest of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel? Why is your clothes red? In thy garment, like him that treadeth in the wine vat. Why your clothes are red, like someone been stomping on grapes, and the juice of the grapes then came on your clothes, on your garment, your apparel. Verse 3, I have trodden the winepress, there go that winepress again, alone. And of the people there was none with me. This is future prophecy. For I would tread them in my anger. When he come to judge and make war, he's going to tread them in his anger and trample them in my fury. And their blood, this ain't no juice of the grapes, he said, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments. And I will stain all my raiment. Why? For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And I looked, and there was none to help. See, look, what nobody to help. There was none to help. And I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. See, and I will tread down the people, so they don't get it twisted. He's talking about the people, the Edomites. And I will tread down the people in mine anger, and make them drunk in my fury. And I will bring down their strength to the earth. We know that's about. You say you're going to bring down their strength to the earth? Go to 2nd Ezra 13, 9 to 11. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, the violence of the multitude that came is their strength, their military, the Army, the Navy, the Marines, and the Air Force. He neither lifted up his hand, this is my Mashiach Shai, as he come to judge and make war. He neither lift up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth. And he said out of his mouth was a sharp sword. He's going to smite the nation. He's going to bring down their strength to the ground. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. They were all mixed together. The blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up, every one. He ain't saving none. He said every one, he's going to burn every last one of them up, so that upon a sudden of a new multitude, nothing was to be perceived but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So, then you know, man, don't get it twisted. This our power. Mashiach Yahushua, big brother coming to put in some work. Sure. So, but you see, everybody tripping on that, but you see, don't forget about it. Because I know a lot of you probably forgot already. You probably forgot already, so I remind you. Lamentation 1:15. The Most High hath trodden underfoot all my mighty men in the midst of me. He hath called an assembly against me to crush me, my young men. The Most High hath trodden the virgin, the daughter of Judah, as in a wine press. Say, as in a wine press. That's what he did. That's why Jeremiah was crying. So that's what he did to his chosen people. Virgin daughter of Judah. Trample them down like in a wine press, kill them. So going back to Ezra, while we have to repent, we have to, because the kingdom is already prepared. He told Ezra, the kingdom is prepared. Mashiach said, I'll go to prepare a place for you. And it's prepared. We just got to get ready for the kingdom that's prepared for us. Go to 2nd Ezra, the 3rd chapter. Let's start at verse 4. That's very important. It says, the Most High who beareth rule, thou spakest at the beginning, when thou didst plant the earth, and that thyself alone, and commanded the people, and gave a body unto Adam, all the way back to Adam, without soul, which was the workmanship of thine hands, and didst breathe into him the breath of life, and he was made living before thee. Ecclesiasticus 19:19. So he breathed into Adam the breath of life, and he was made living before him. Ecclesiasticus 19:19. The knowledge of the commandments of the Most High is the doctrine of life. It's again, the doctrine of the commandments of the Most High is the doctrine of life. And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. So, this is what he gave Adam, his commandments. That's why you see Abel was able to sacrifice the first lamb, the best lamb of his flock, to the Most High. Verse 6 of 2nd Ezra, the 3rd chapter. And thou leddest him into paradise, which thy right hand had planted. That's a Mashiach Yahushua. Understand this, understand this. Which thy right hand had planted. Let him into paradise, which his right hand had planted. Right? That's why go to a prayer that the Mashiach Yahushua prayed when he was in the flesh here on the earth. And that was John the 17th chapter, verse 5. John the 17th chapter, verse 5. And now, O Father, he's not praying to himself, so all you just say they're the same. Believing in the Trinity doctrine. He said, and now, O Father, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was. Because he made everything by Mashiach Yahushua. Look, let me prove it again. Going back to 2nd Ezra 3 and 6. And thou leddest him into paradise, which thy right hand had planted. Right? Before ever the earth came forward. So, this is Mashiach Yahushua. So, Mashiach Yahushua is asking the Most High that for the glory that he had with him before the world was, right? So this is Mashiach Yahushua, the creation of Mashiach Yahushua. He was created. Matter of fact, the first creation. Revelation 3:14. And unto the angel of the church of the Laodicean, Revelation 3 and 14. And unto the angel of the church of the Laodicean, right? These things said the Mashiach Yahushua, the faithful and true witness, the beginning of the creation of the Most High. So he's the beginning of the creation of the Most High. A lot of people say it was no creation, but he's the beginning of the creation of the Most High. And I say, oh, Mashiach Yahushua. is the first creation of the Most High. So Most High created him. Then getting right to the point, there's many scriptures that prove this, but I'm just going to get right to the point. Ephesians 3 and 9. Most High created Mashiach Yahushua, Ephesians 3 and 9. And to make all men see what is the fellowship of the mystery which from the beginning of the world has been hid in the Most High, who created all things by Hamashiach, Yahushua. So here we see it's saying his right hand in 2 Ezra 3 and 6, and thou lettest him into paradise which thy right hand had planted before ever the earth came forward. So this is Mashiach Yahushua. So go to Acts. Go to the book of Acts, the 2nd chapter, and verse 33. Acts 2:33. This moment.